Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be for Valkyr Prime. I'm just going to go over her build real quick, and then I'm also going to go over her talent build, and then I'm going to kind of demonstrate the build to you guys a little bit. So first, I go with Steel Charge. She's a melee frame. You definitely want to go with Steel Charge because that is all she needs. You know, she's invulnerable while she's in Hysteria, and you'll be in Hysteria most of the time. So then I also go with Coaction Drift to complement Steel Charge. Makes you do more damage. Can't really go wrong with that. So if you want to try something else, give it a go. Let me know how it goes. Um, but basically, having more melee damage on a melee frame is going to be really important. So next is going to be primed continuity. So duration is your most important stat. So prime continuity is, I'd say, required. Next is flow, plus 150% energy max. If you have primed flow, try to fit it into the build. Right now, with flow, I actually have a 4 forma build, and my umbrals are not maxed, nor is my narrow minded. So this will be a 5 forma build in the end. So definitely try to fit primed flow into this if you have it. If you don't, flow works just fine. Next is Hunter Adrenaline. Convert plus 45% of damage on health to energy. So when you are out of Hysteria, and it may even work in Hysteria, but I haven't noticed um, if it does or doesn't. But this is for when you're out of Hysteria, so you can get back into Hysteria really quick. Um, the other perk, plus 50% companion damage on enemies affected by slash. You're putting slash on everything, so it's a little helpful. It is not it's not the most helpful thing because it's for your companion, but it's still not bad. It's a little bit extra damage, doesn't hurt. Next is narrow-minded. Like I said, duration is your most important thing. Um, Losing 60% ability range, that doesn't matter. You're not worried about range. You're worried about your duration because your duration affects how much energy per second is being taken while you're using Hysteria and how long your war cry is up. You want your war cry up as long as possible. You want to be in Hysteria as long as possible. So duration is a necessity. I would say narrow-minded and prime continuity are your most important mods other than Eternal War. Eternal War is a Warcry augment. While active, Warcry's duration is increased by 2 seconds for each melee kill. When you're in Hysteria, you're only using melee. So you can keep your Warcry going almost indefinitely, which is awesome. So this is a necessity to the build. Eternal War is it's completely needed. There is no replacement for it. At least not for this build. If you have a different build that you know want me to check out, I'd love to check it out. Um, just leave it down in the comments below, and I'll give it a shot. Next is Umbral Intensify. I take Umbral Intensify because it's more strength, especially if I pair it with Vitality. So Umbral Intensify is plus 50% ability strength with Umbral Vitality. If I don't have Umbral Vitality, it goes down to 40%. At 50% ability strength, I'm getting 375 damage on my Hysteria. If I were to take it out, it goes down to 250. So Umbral Intensify is very important. It's a 50% increase to your damage of Hysteria. Definitely, definitely take this. Umbral Vitality you can do without because if I take that out, it's only down to 350 damage. But I use it for survivability when I don't have Hysteria up. Same goes for adaptation. When damaged, plus 10% resistance to that damage type for 20 seconds stacks up to 90%. So you do need survivability when you're out of Hysteria because without it, you just die. um, so vitality and adaptation are there for that reason. When you do end up having to be out of Hysteria, that's what they're there for. I use Arcane Grace and Arcane Strike. I don't have a max Arcane Strike, but I do suggest making sure to have at least a third rank Arcane Strike because she's all about melee. You want her to attack faster, so Arcane Strike is perfect. Arcane Grace is just another survivability. You can change that out for whatever you think is necessary. Um, but a lot of this is pretty necessary to the build. You know, continuity, narrow-minded, coaction, end steel charge, eternal war, and then these three can really be changed out, but I don't suggest changing them. It's up to you. As for the arcanes, you can change Grace. I wouldn't change Strike. But up to you. If you find something that works better, let me know because I am curious to try out something different. So let's go ahead and move on to the talents. So since you're using Hysteria all the time, you'll be using these talents. So you want these to be buffed up as much as possible. I use Pressure Point, 120% melee damage. Primed Reach, 2.5 range. You want the range on these because otherwise you would have to be right in the enemy's face. So I definitely would say that Primed Reach is a necessity for convenience. If it doesn't bother you, then don't take it. You can switch it with something else. It's up to you. And then I take Condition Overload because we do have a lot of status effects going on. We have impact, puncture, slash, heat, corrosive. So it's just a lot of increases in damage. Plus, it's fun. Next is Organ Shatter, plus 90% critical damage. This is really good. Obviously, you're going to be critting a lot. Your crit chance is 130% with this build, and that's because of Sacrificial Steel, plus 160% critical chance, times 2 for heavy attacks, and then 24% damage to sentience. So having extra critical chance is going to be awesome, especially if you have an Organ Shatter on. So with Organ Shatter, our crit multiplier is 3.8. That's really good. Next, I use Molten Impact, plus 90% heat. Then I use Prime Fever Strike, 90% Toxin at rank 5. If you haven't maxed, then great. Definitely want to get it maxed. But if you do have it maxed, definitely fit it in. You might have to put in another Forma to max both Sacrificial Steel and Fever Strike, but I don't think so. I think if you max Sacrificial Steel and then you max Fever Strike should go down enough to where you only need 2 more, maybe. But I don't have it max, so I can't say for sure. Let me know what you guys come up with. Let me know if I would have to put in another Forma for this build to work. I max rank everything, but it's up to you. I mean, you could just do 5 and 7. I don't know why I couldn't calculate that faster. It works just fine. It doesn't hurt to have these maxed, but you don't need them maxed. So, anyways, moving on to the last mod, Shocking Touch, plus 90% electricity. So this is making your corrosive. Can't go wrong with corrosive. Beats the shit out of armor, which is awesome. So with that, I mean that's the build, guys. I'm gonna do a quick demonstration though. If you want to see that, stick around. I already have it set up, so let me just demonstrate the build real quick. So we're gonna activate our WARCRY, then we're gonna activate our Hysteria, and then we'll go slaughter some enemies. So this is just quick attacks. With just quick attacks, these are even dying quick. I mean, it's it's kind of ridiculous how quickly they're dying. So then let's go and show heavy attacks. That's pretty good, and they all died pretty quick with just one. So another one that with that, it's a fun build. You guys can see it. It's very effective. These are level 125 enemies, and they're corrupted heavy gunners, which are pretty tough enemies as is. So hopefully you guys have as much fun as I do with this build. If you find any changes that you think would be fun or, just better, just let me know in the comments below. Of course, don't be a dick about it, but I am curious to see what you guys came up with. I'm curious to see how the build worked for you. So if you like the build, if you're enjoying it, let me know. With that being said, though, if you guys like this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. I do a video every Sunday for Warframe, and then a random other video every Thursday for, whatever game I'm playing at the time. So keep a lookout for those. With that being said, though, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you